Welcome to our daily Forex market analysis call, and this is for trading on September 18th, 2018. And before we dive in here, just a quick disclaimer. This is for educational purposes only. Trading is a risky business, so please be careful with your money. All right, so let's start off by taking a look at our fundamentals here. So just a quick thing here. So we have just about half an hour ago here, we've got news coming out, excuse me, saying that Trump administration is going to impose tariffs on approximately 200 billion worth of imports from China effective September 24. So this was earlier, there was a news saying the Trump administration will announce further, or they would announce something in regards to the tariffs here. So that's what came out. It was supposed to come out after the markets closed. Market closed at 4:30 p.m. Eastern. The markets closed at 4:30 p.m. Eastern, and now after that, this news came out. So that's what's going on here. And what does that mean? So we'll take a look at the chart, and we'll talk about what happened as a result of that. But in terms of our fundamentals here, we have monetary policy meeting minutes coming out for Australia. Reserve Bank of Australia has not been wanting to raise rates, and they have been on the sidelines. So as a result of that, there isn't a lot of, we're not really looking for them to raise rates here. So right now, it's not about raising rates here. It's just a comment. So what was the discussion that went on behind closed doors? That's what we're trying to get an idea of. And if the discussion was positive about the economy, and maybe they talked about potentially raising rates or at some point providing direction to the market participants, that would have a positive impact. Otherwise, this will be negative for Australia here. And then tomorrow morning, in the London session here, we have President Draghi speaking, and then not a lot in terms of news in the either of the sessions, London or New York. But in the evening here, we do have monetary policy statement from Japan. So a couple of two central banks and one central banker speaking. So we just have to be mindful of the comments that come out. Otherwise, not a ton of data there. Okay, so let's take a look at euro here. So this is where we currently are. We are into resistance. And with the comments that just came out, sorry, this is pound yen. My apologies. Here we are with the euro dollar. So with the euro US dollar, we are at the top of the range here. Almost at the top of the range. That's the top of the range. This is where price has been trading for a while now. It dropped below. Now it's back again. So the immediate, we are kind of into this immediate resistance. Bullish candle close for the day, but we saw this lower high form here, and that's what's of concern here. So we did see euro dollar drop after that, after the tariff news came out, and we'll take a look at the yen crosses as well and the impact that has had, the announcement has had on those. So in terms of this euro dollar here, it's range bound right now. So I would look for a bounce off of this. So it looks like it could go and test that level once again. But in terms of the bias, my bias would be a range bound. I'd be looking for this move here. So if I would take a look at what happens at the high here, 1.1720 level, as long as price stays below that level, I'm looking for price to basically come back and trades towards the middle of the range. So my bias is range bound there. And from whatever perspective, price kind of hung around there for a few hours awaiting the comment from President Trump. And here we have that drop as a result of that. So with this one, we have a lower high. So this could come all the way into the support here. So with having said that, again, range bound bias, which means I'm looking for price to trade back into the range here. Pound dollar. Pound has been driven by Brexit talks. And as a result, we have seen price go above this previous high. It's closed above the previous high, and we have a bullish candle close. So bias is to the upside. The target here would be 1.3220, but we have to be careful about 1.3180 level, which is this support and resistance level here. If price breaks through that, chances are it's going to go higher. 1.3220 will be the target, and bias is bullish for pound dollar. Aussie dollar, again, similar bounce. Price got stuck at R1, and then we have seen this drop as a result of that announcement. With this one here, we have this type of a trend here as well. Now, we do have monetary policy meeting minutes coming, and that could change things here. But here, the bias is to the downside. We have this downward trend line. Price came into the top of the range here and has bounced off since then. So we are seeing this type of move to the downside. So bias is bearish. Target is 0.7090, and which is the bottom here. So only thing to be mindful of here would be the monetary policy meeting minutes. New Zealand dollar, same thing here. We almost have kind of a head and shoulders or a triple top type of formation here. Price, it came went to test the high and has dropped since then. And as we can see, it's into the high of the range. It is also range bound for the last few days. Price has not been able to break that range. And now I'd be looking for price to drop. 0.6500 will be the target to the downside, which is close to our S2 level. And also that's where we're looking for the previous support and resistance area. So bias is to the downside. Dollar CAD here. Dollar CAD, we have a bullish candle close, but this one we have to be a bit careful with. And the reason for that is because we have seen this drop, and now it may just be a pullback or a further drop. Now, having said that, the candle close is bullish today, and we could go higher. So bias for the daily would be to the upside, and we could get a move into 1.3109 or 1.3120-ish level. So that would be the bias for today. And then I would look for price to bounce off of that level there. So that's the move I'm looking. So right now looking bullish, but we could get that type of a move because this is a strong support and resistance area all the way over here. If you look, price has reacted many times at this level. So that's a strong level. So immediate bias is bullish, but I would look for price to bounce off of that level or maybe slightly lower into that support and resistance area right over here. So those are the two levels, which is 1.3090 level. So somewhere around there, I'm looking for basically a pullback and then a drop. Euro pound here, this one is looking bearish. Daily candle close is bearish.